What's up, guys? Hello. Let me just grab my drink here. Alrighty, hello. When you get in, you know the drill. Drop a comment saying hashtag I'm here with your name so we can say hello to whoever's rocking up. Happy Wednesday. So we're going to jump straight into it today. I'll do like a little bit of an update and then we'll dive in. Hey, Rosie. So we were not here. Hey, Gina. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Sue. We weren't here, obviously, on Monday, which, apologies, I did forget to put in the group that we weren't going live. Our clients knew because we had told them that we're off for a few days. I just forgot to post in this group. So apologies. Let us know if you can still hear our sound in about 30 seconds time. Whilst Cam plugs in this light. Can you hear me, guys? Hey, Sam, Jody, Holly, Kirsty, Lorna, Lindsay, maybe the same one, maybe different. Vicky, can you guys still hear us? Perfect. Thank you. So Cam's putting on this light. So you may see that we're in a different location. We are actually back home in my hometown city of Swansea. I'm just going to adjust this lighting, guys, a sec. Okay. There we go. So we are back in Swansea for about a month. We took a couple of days off and went to Paris because it was somebody's birthday. So we have been very, very busy the last few days. We hit like 25,000 steps a day, weren't we? Yeah. So at least 25,000 a day. So we had a ton of croissants, ton of pain au chocolat, a ton of pizza, and now we're back. Getting straight back into it. So we landed yesterday. So that's why we weren't here on Monday. But we're here tonight and we're going straight into the private. So for our clients, our Zoom call is going to be in about 25 minutes. So we're going to keep this as short and concise as possible, but it is a deep one as well, isn't it? So
yeah,
maybe we'll do this in like a two-parter, perhaps.
Let's just call this part one.
We'll call it part one and see how we get on. So, thank you. You can hear us. Kyra's here. Glad you brought the sun back. I know. Hey, Tammy. Cam says, I hope you had an amazing birthday.
It was good.
It was good.
It was full of pizza and adventures.
Adventures, yeah. Alrighty. So, guys, today, hey, Nicole. Today we're going to talk about something that
slaps.
It slaps, okay? Hey, Roslyn. So today we're going to talk about something that slaps. So this was triggered. This was triggered this morning by a conversation that Cam and I had about people, because sometimes we just have a chat, like, sometimes we do talk to each other rather than just to you guys. And we were talking about how some people want motivation or say that they need motivation to lose weight. If you think you need motivation to lose weight, put 1 in the comments. I want to see. And if you're like, no, that's not motivation, put 2. I want to see some answers. And then we're going to talk to you about it. So anyway, our conversation today. We were like, some people need motivation and other people expect hand-holding. Okay, so this is going to slap some people right where it hurts. And I'm not even going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for you taking offense to something that I'm about to say. Okay, so there's a difference between accountability, because lots of people say, oh, I need it for accountability. I need motivation for accountability. I need accountability, whatever, okay? So it's slightly motivation, slightly accountability. But there's a difference between having someone there to motivate you and hold you accountable and being self-responsible. Okay, these are 2 different things. And you guys know we are very picky with who we bring on to our coaching programs. And we don't want people that want to be handheld the whole time, that need us to be motivating them. Like, come on, you can do it. You can get out of bed today, Holly. So I can drag myself out of bed. but that's it. Like Holly is one of our clients, and she doesn't expect us to be calling her up at like 5 a.m. Like, Holly, you're out of bed. Yeah, you need to get a wiggle on. Come on, come on, come on. You know, some people do need, if they're having a rough time, or, you know, they're just feeling a bit like blur. Like, definitely, we all go through that time. I have as well with my coach, and you just need that like pick me up. Like, come on, you've got this. You know, you're looking really good, or you're winning at this X, Y, Z. But there's a difference between someone who needs a little bit of a pick me up and someone who needs a hand held, definitely, isn't there?
100%.
So when people, I usually, oh my God, my eyes, guys, I'm really tired. I usually am self-motivated, but definitely need a slap to the face to get moving right now. I'm not sure who that is, but we can do that. Hey, Rachel. Okay, so I think you need motivation, but that to me is why I want to change. Sometimes I need to kick up the ass, lol, Gina. Gina does. Gina needs to kick up the ass not to do things, though, doesn't she? She's got the opposite problem. She's disciplined and motivated to go out and do walks and do exercise and all that kind of stuff, but she's not motivated to do as the doctor says, nor exercise. So the difference between self-responsible and being held accountable. So lots of programs will have those people that are like, right, come on now, you can, you know, like a personal trainer. Let's use a personal trainer as an example, like an in-person personal trainer, because I think this is a useful one. Okay, so Tammy, sort your life out. We'll talk on the Zoom, Tammy. You'll be first up. Okay, so if you're the kind of person who's like, I need to go to the gym, but I need a personal trainer to be there to keep me motivated, that's a problem, guys. That is a problem, because it means that for the rest of your life, you are not going to be able to work out without that person being there. And also that person is not in your pocket 24 hours a day. So when it comes to eating chocolate or eating your bag of Maltesers or eating your pizza or your Chinese, that person isn't going to be there. They're not going to be there to slap the food out of your hand, okay? All they're there for, you're paying them to count your reps for an hour, something like that. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you, if not all of you, can count up to 12, okay? I hope you guys can count up to 12. So, but if you are always relying on someone else, maybe it's your friend.
Yeah, I think that's a common one.
Yeah, I can't go to the gym or I can't do X, Y, Z without my friend. So we've got a client, Jess, who has started saying to her friend, you know, if you're not coming, I'm going by myself, but I'm making this happen. She's training for a marathon, so she has to get this shit done. She knows she can't just depend on her friend all the time, because if her friend is flaky and doesn't go, then that stops her from going as well. So the problem with being handheld, essentially, that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? Feeling like you need someone there to motivate you rather than being motivated yourself. And there's a difference between external motivation, which is someone else saying to you, come on, come on, come on, or like, you know, you've got to do this because of X, Y, and Z, or whatever, versus you saying, I've got this, I can go ahead and do this, I can push through, I need to do this because of X, Y, Z. This is important to me because, so internal and external, or intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, two different things. And we did do a live a couple of weeks ago on growth mindset, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we did as well. I can't remember if it was in the private group, but we did do on growth mindset. And this is the intrinsic motivation, that kind of person that needs the inside stuff. It's like, do you know what? It doesn't matter if Cam's not there, I'm still going to go. It doesn't matter if the gym is closed, I'm still going to go for a walk or wherever it's going to be. It's like, I'm going to do this for me. And anything external is not the thing that I'm depending on. So dependency is the first thing, I think, when it comes to needing hand holding, that lets people down. So do you want to talk about dependency?
Yeah, so I think it depends.
It depends.
It depends, doesn't it? In what context you're having it. But sometimes people get too reliant or too dependent on something. Or some people are like dependent on the gym. It's their sole, what do we call it? de-stressor. So it definitely can help when it's like low intensity. But if you already got a high stress job, a high stress like workout plan of like hit every day, it's only ever like accumulating up and up and up. And it's like it is their way of like de-stressing and escaping the world. But as soon as like you can't work out anymore because you've broken a leg, you've now completely lost the gym and you have no other hobbies, like no other ways of regulating your stress or emotions. So then it just comes back to it and you come into like emotional eating. So if you're dependent on workouts and then it gets stripped away, you sort of end up back at the beginning. If you're like purely dependent on a coach making the decisions for you every day, like this is what you have to do working out, this is what you have to eat every day, like a meal plan.
Yeah, let's talk about
that's like another thing, is like a meal plan
in a meal plan. Yeah.
If you're told to eat exactly what to eat every day,
it might get you results.
It will definitely get you results in the short term, but it doesn't teach you in a long term of like how to make out swaps, because not every day can you have katsu chicken recipe made for you like perfectly on a video, because sometimes you don't have the chicken, sometimes you don't have the time. You need to have the knowledge of how can I switch this out. And you start learning that through education of like, which is why we want to give more education to clients. So I think as soon as you're dependent on something and then like a meal plan, it's stripped away, you leave the program. That's why most people rebound in weight, because they've never spent the time educating themselves or whatever it is through that program to learn of what are like good protein sources, what are reasonably good carb sources,
how many calories should I be eating,
how can I balance it out, what is a balanced meal, how can I just make up a meal, how can I potentially meal prep, what suits me. But as soon as that's taken away, people just go back.
Exactly. So being dependent on a meal plan is going to limit your time for results, essentially, because as soon as you leave, like Cam said, that's it. Holly says, I can't deal with someone else telling me what to eat anyway. That's one factor that's made me avoid PTs previously. And someone else says, the education is game changing. Exactly. So these two, I assume, are clients. I assume the second person is a client. But yeah, exactly that. It's you need to understand how to do things. And I think the education is really big for me personally, because I am that person that's like, but why? But why? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? And so on and so forth. So we want to give that to you guys so you understand how to do all these things that Cam just mentioned. I also think being dependent on someone or having that hand holding makes you less autonomous. So when you are autonomous, obviously you can do things by yourself. You don't need that extra person. But if that person's always there, like Debbie always used to go to the gym with a friend. She always used to go. But then she wasn't confident to go by herself, and because she never did it, she never got confident. But then we eventually got her in by herself, and I said, even if your friend goes in first and then you go in like 2 minutes after or something, just building that autonomy. Now she goes around throwing weights like a badass. She's wonderful, isn't she? But if you have a lack of autonomy, if you haven't got that independence, that actually is counterproductive when it comes to confidence. So people are like, I need a PT because I'm scared of the gym. But actually depending on that person is ruining your autonomy or reducing your autonomy, which means that you're never going to build that confidence because you're always depending on that person. So you can see this big cycle that's coming in now.
It's just like a massive lack of what's the opposite of clarity?
Vagueness.
Like, if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what you're working for, like goals, people will just end up going around in circles. But if you start to learn about the gym, if you start to learn workout programs, exercises, you can start to like build it up, like push yourself out of your comfort zone, like bit by bit. That's how it builds up.
And someone says you need the tools and guidance to help you become independent. Exactly. So I like to think of our coaching as a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So we're not going to be like, okay, we'll just put you here. This is what to eat. This is what to do. Because we want you to understand and build that bridge so that when you get to the other side and then you decide, okay, now I want to bulk or I want to lose some more weight or I want to, whatever it's going to be, you can do it. You don't need us. We love you guys. We don't want you forever, essentially. Although, some people want to stay forever, don't they? And we love them too. But same with food choices, isn't it? Like being told what to do and being told what to have, then you're like, oh, well, I haven't got the confidence to choose because I don't have the knowledge, I don't understand. You saying about the gym reminded me actually earlier. So our gym, it was our first day back today, has got new machines, and I was watching a personal trainer show someone how to use one of the machines, and I don't know how to use this machine because all the machines it was like a pendulum squat, so not many gyms have them, and when they do, they're all quite different on the even like the latch and stuff. So I was watching because I want to become autonomous and do that myself. I don't want to be like, Cam, can you come and help me? Or asking a personal trainer. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but like I don't want to be asking other people how to do things. I want to be able to do it myself. And have that independence and confidence to do it as well. I think another problem is when you are being handheld all the time, you don't get those problem solving skills to be able to solve future problems. Like you said about nutrition, if I given a meal plan and then I go out, maybe I haven't got chicken, or I'm scraping around for like whatever I've got in my cupboards really quickly, or something's gone off and I have to swap it out for something, then because you've been told all the time, and now you're like, well, I haven't got this magical herb that springs up once a year from the deep roots, the deep forest of Cambodia, like wherever that magical herb is, then you haven't got those problem solving skills to actually get to where you want to be. So again, it's reducing your confidence. So you need to be able to troubleshoot problems, like in our check-ins. Actually, like in our check-ins, I just had a moment where someone might have gained weight or whatever, because it happens, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, be like, all of our clients lose weight every single week, because it's impossible. So I'm going to read Susan in a minute. Where was I going with this now? I got distracted. Check-ins, yes. So if any of our clients gain weight over a week as an average or whatever, they often, when they get into it, like when they're at the beginning, they're like, oh my God, I've gained weight. And we teach them what this could be. And then like a few months later, it could be Holly, for example. And she's like, okay, well, I've gained weight this week, or one day I had this spike, but I know I slept like shit. I am due on my period. I ate carbs late the night before. Like, they will troubleshoot their own problems and come up with a solution that we would have essentially given anyway. So, having that confidence as well. And it makes you feel better as well, understanding, doesn't it? Rather than being like, oh my God, well, I need a coach because if I've gained weight, I fucked up and I don't know what to do. And then, learn to do it yourself.
Pretty much. That's what I was going to say for that, the check-ins. What was the other example I had? I can't remember, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got 9 minutes left.
Susan says, going to the gym alone is like going to a movie alone. Wonderful. No conversations required.
It's a benefit. It's a strong benefit.
Me and Cam go to the gym and we just pretend like we don't know each other, basically.
Well, she comes up to me and I'm like, who are you?
Exactly. Okay, so time and energy as well. So if you're having like a daily check-in, like some of our clients are really busy, like Tracy. Let's use Tracy, isn't it? She is busy. That woman doesn't even have time to eat until 4 or 5 o'clock, which is something that we are working on. But then needing to be like, having a coach or personal trainer be like, good morning, Tracy, how are you? And she's like, oh, fuck's sake, now I've got to text Face to my head. And like, yeah, fine. And I'm like, well, is there a problem? And she's like, no, leave me alone. Like, it creates that friction as well. So having someone there to always be there, you spend a lot of time and energy, which then makes you feel stressed out because you haven't got time to do other stuff. So there's that as well as a little side one there.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is, what have we got? Failure to, I can't even read that word.
Failure to internalize habits.
Internalize. That was it. So the main thing about that is like cues and habits. If you're always being told to do it, you don't know what your own cues are, or like meal planning, meal prepping a day ahead, or like just drinking your water.
Maybe emotional eating would be a good one to.
What is that? So like your cue, your trigger. So it goes trigger, cue, reward. So like your trigger is usually when you get really stressed because your boss has sent you a really bad email. You either open it or don't want to open it. And then when you do, like the cue and then the trigger, then the cue is that. So you reward yourself with food. And if you're always being told and controlled on how to do it, you don't really figure it out yourself. So it all just comes back to being how to handle different situations like as they arise.
And sometimes we give homework, don't we, on things like that, like
Mhm.
why did you overeat that night, or why are you stressed out? And they have to then go and do the homework for it.
Yeah, like a lot of things simply as journaling. People think, oh, it's just writing down your feelings or writing down how did you feel during your binge, how did you feel after it. If you do that for like 5 to 10 days and you get like a little bit of feedback in the middle, like that will be way more powerful, because you start to like have self-awareness, and you basically start to internalize like it probably actually wasn't worth it. I probably could have just gone for a walk. I probably could have just had some water, and if I was still hungry, I could eat it and still not feel guilty for it. So I think, yeah, self-awareness is just a big thing, and if it's always being told, you never really create it yourself.
Yeah. And I think another one is like when people pay for meal plans, because people say to us, like, can you write us a meal plan? Yes, we could, and we could charge you for it, but we don't do it because it's not sustainable. We just don't like doing it. Like we can give meal plans to our clients, and some people do prefer that option. But if someone just comes to us and like, can you write me a meal plan? Yes, but we won't, because there's no point. You're paying for something that is so short term that I feel like it's like a waste of money, basically. Isn't it? So you're doing this over and over and over. Like, how many times have you done a diet, or have you been to, can I say that word? Similar?
It's not a swear word.
A weight loss club. I know, I don't want to like label people today. I'm feeling kind. If you've been to like a weight loss club that you've been to over and over and over, how much money are you spending doing these diets or doing these programs or doing these quick fixes that you then lose weight on quickly, and then you binge and gain it all back, or that program finishes, and because you haven't learned anything, because you've been dependent on other people, you have to pay again. You have to pay again, you have to pay again, you have to pay again, you have to pay again. So you never get that autonomy to be able to do that kind of stuff by yourself long term. So meal plans, I think, are a waste for that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a quick fix. Tell me the foods, tell me the numbers, which 100% will give you results if it was right to your body, which can be easily worked out.
Yeah.
But then, like we say, once it's stripped away, you then don't know how to manage yourself, and it doesn't really create confidence or like self-empowering abilities, because as soon as you start to do things right and it starts to click, sort of like with a bit of our help and a bit of your self-realization, you start to feel more empowered, you start to feel more confident, and it just starts to roll over, and you're more confident to like make a decision. Yes, I know I can swap chicken breast for 5% beef mince, and I'm not going to be far off it, and I'm not going to be on track. It can take people a long way.
And then if you always start again and stop again, start again, stop again, start again, if you're not really committed to something because you're just using this external, this like a little bit of hand-holding, this step-by-step motivation, essentially, as soon as your actual motivation dips, which it will, then you're going to give up, and then you start again, you're going to give up and start again, and you haven't got that commitment, which means that you're going to continue to feel like a failure. You're never actually succeeding. And then you think, you automatically think that nothing works for me. How many of our clients thought nothing works for me? I've tried everything. I've tried Weight Watchers. I've had the gastric band or sleeve or whatever you want to say. I've tried Weight Watchers. Did I just say that? I've tried all the pills. I've tried 1,200 calories. I've tried fucking whatever else is there. Keto. I've done all the cardio, and I still can't lose weight. Like, because you haven't had that like long-term commitment to something, you just feel like nothing ever is going to work. And unfortunately, people come to us as like a last resort. they wish they'd done it as the first. There we go, in the comments. So yeah, long-term commitment damages your self-esteem as well. You also don't really, if you're given a meal plan, you don't really understand what you like, what you don't like, what you prefer, what you want less of, how your body reacts to different things. Like, I can't handle like whey protein very well, but Cam can handle it fine. So if that was given to me on a meal plan and then I bloat in, my weight would go up. So, we need to be able to understand our own bodies there as well. Lorna says, me, but your program has worked for the first time ever. Sticking with it. There we go. And someone else did, me also. Don't know who that one is. And the final thing Cam touched on earlier on was personal empowerment. So if you're self-sustainable, which is what we all want to be for forever, we don't want to be dependent on someone, it then makes you feel more in control, makes you feel more in charge, and then you can take ownership of your journey, I guess. So then you can decide, do I want this ice cream? It's not on the meal plan. Do I want this bag of Maltesers? It's not on the meal plan. But Faye and Cam, I've worked with them for long enough to understand I can have this and I'll still lose weight. I can have this and enjoy my life. I can not need to drag my ass through the day. I don't need to be miserable. I don't feel like I need to burn it off the next day. Like, having that mindset shift is really, really, really empowering. And then the physical stuff, isn't it? Like, you lose weight, or you gain confidence just from being able to make these decisions. And then you feel confidence, you wear things that make you feel even more confident, or maybe you didn't have the confidence to wear before. So it's all a big reflection, I think, of what you achieve. But you can't achieve anything by being told what to do day in, day out, isn't it? It's not very self-empowering.
Pretty much, yeah.
You never get self-actualized.
Your self-confidence will never build. And in some areas, it doesn't matter, I guess. But in nutrition, you want to. It's like we always say, nutrition should be taught in schools. Like, what's a basic macro, calorie, and protein? Like, how do you read a food label? Like, if you're a teenager and you actually learned how to read a food label and understand, like, my body actually needs protein. I can't just live off sweets and crisps.
Yeah.
Because once I gain fat, you can't lose the fat cells again. People are going to make more informed decisions. Doesn't mean you have to pick the right one every time, but long term, like, prevention is the best thing. And one of the best things to prevent obesity, like for up and coming generations, is just better education. And I think the biggest thing we get with a lot of mums, and the biggest wins we get, is like, now I'm more confident because I'm a better role model to my kids. And kids will always pick up on your habits, like good or bad. Especially younger, they'll pick it up quicker. And there's lots of parents I spoke to that have said didn't even realize that their kids perceive them yo-yo dieting as normal. As like them going to Slimming World, and then on the weekends, like, calories don't count, so they binge it all back, and then they're like, on Monday I'm starting again, I'm weighing again Monday, and it just becomes like a big thing. People don't realize, like, it's a very powerful thing.
Like demonizing food and stuff, isn't it? I can't have that.
Like, I hate exercise. I have to exercise. I had birthday, so I have to go for a run. But now I've got a good few mums that are saying, I love the exercise because it's making me stronger. It's making me build more muscle. I'm turning up. I love my body. And
Rosie sent a video, didn't she, a few weeks back, of her little boy, like, lifting weights.
They're lifting weights and exercising for fun. Your kids need to exercise and be active for the rest of their life. So you need to teach it in a way that they
need to model it. It's called modeling.
I think modeling is just the biggest thing parents can do.
And that's the thing. We cannot go back to school and relearn this stuff. We can't be like, oh, well, they never taught us, so hopefully they'll teach my kids. Like, we have all got a responsibility to understand what goes into our own body, and what goes into the body of our kids. I saw something on Facebook. I know we're running a bit late, guys. I just need to quickly get this out. I saw something on Facebook the other day, and it said, like, oh, well, my kid won't eat anything, so I may as well give him shit. I can't remember what it was, but it was crap. And I was thinking, that's terrible. Like, I don't have kids, but surely there's, like, a way that you could be encouraging a bit of this and a bit of that. Like Holly's and mum, like, there's lots of all kinds of mums. Surely there's a way that you can be like, a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this, a bit of that, and, like, modeling the good things and not just giving in. I don't know, I'm not a parenting coach, but you've got responsibility as a parent to look after your kids' health for the rest of their lives and set them up for success now. Because if they turned 18, when they turned 21 and they got diabetes, obesity, and all that kind of stuff, that's just not all on you as a parent, but that, we can prevent that as parents as best as possible. And kids will automatically as well be like, oh, I'm not eating that, especially in the teenage years, isn't there? But yeah, my son doesn't pick up on my habits. I'm sick of nagging him about being active and eating better. Kirsty, there we go, Kirsty. So, 13 is that you could tell him to eat chocolate and he wouldn't eat chocolate anymore. So you may as well do something like that. Be like, yeah, eat all of this chocolate and stay in your room. You probably, all right then. 1 week. They're over psychology 1 week. It is hard, but you do have to stick with it. And, you can't force people, just like us. We can't be like, well, Kirsty, you need to go and lose some weight. And if you don't want to do it, we're not going to drag you to the gym and make you do something. You know, you have to want to be able to do that. I'm just using it as an example. But yeah, like kids can only or will only change if they have the good behavior, the model, but also if they want to. And they're more likely to want to if they see your benefits that you're getting versus, not being, what's the word? Surrounded by it, basically. My eldest asks about my exercise every morning. She knows I do it before they get up for the day. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So she knows Holly's set up for the day.
Even when they're sleeping, they know.
Yeah, they're like, she's banging around.
She's panting downstairs.
There you go, guys. So we are going to shoot up because we're a little bit late for our client group. So in the client group, I'm going to post the Zoom link momentarily. Welcome to anyone that's new. If you're watching a replay, put #replay, and we will see you soon. Ciao, ciao.